What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to review week 3, or as I like to call it, the NRL Semi-Finals. I was getting grilled all week, people saying it's not the semi-finals, it's the preliminary finals. I'm like, I don't care, I'm calling it the semi-finals, because that's what it is to me, and that's all that matters. It happened, boys. Melbourne Storm, Penny Panthers, they've been the two best teams all year. And they're there, lads. Let us know how you went on the punt, guys. Let us know if you hit both your games. I'm pretty sure most of us did. We hit our punts in the Penrith game, but missed them on the Melbourne Storm game. So, not great. I'm not happy. We had an okay final series so far, but not happy. One thing I am happy with, though, I did put money on the Melbourne Storm to win the comp and the Penrith Panthers to win the comp, so free money in the grand final. Always love my free money. So I'm really stoked about that, guys. And I have no idea why I have headphones on. But yeah, guys, look, we thought this was going to happen, and it did. And look, I've been chatting a bit about, the AFL in the grand final. Today, the AFL had a really poor grand final, but apparently their finals game's real good. And people were sort of saying, yeah, but the AFL grand finals, the semi-finals were better. This is what happens in rugby league. It's a bit different. That's why there's a lot of blowout grand final wins in the AFL. But usually there's low-key two teams that are way better than the other teams. It happened last year. It happened the year before. I'm pretty sure it happened the year before. But you get what I'm saying. It's very rare. You know, we see those top teams get knocked off, and, I know it does happen. I'm not saying that every single year. Someone's going to point out one year when it happened relatively recently. And of course it does happen, but normally there's low-key two teams that are far better than every other team, and they sort of did flex up pretty hard this weekend, and that's why there hasn't been a ton of close games. But I'll tell you what, I'll be taking either team 1-12 in this next game. It's going to be epic. Early predictions, lads. Who's winning the NRL Grand Final? Love to see your punts there, guys. So we'll go through these games real quick. We'll talk matchups for the grand final, sort of prediction, but I'm going to do my proper prediction video and drop it on Wednesday morning, guys, once we have team lists. But we've got to talk about it. We really do have to talk about it because it's a hot topic. I'll go through these games and I'll talk about it at the end. This isn't going to be a very long video, guys. I'm going to make my prediction video a bit more in-depth and better. The game finished an hour ago. I just watched both the press conferences. I just wanted to get it out fresh. And let's talk about it. All right, so Melbourne Storm flex on the Sydney Roosters. And obviously the Penny Panthers get it done. I wouldn't say flex, but got it done against the Sharkies 26-6. All right, guys, so game starts off with a bang. Big Nelson KOs. Absolutely KOs. Lindsay Collins, he was in absolute Disneyland and played the ball the wrong way. It was epic. Absolutely epic. But look, if you watched my preview, what did I say? If Roosters want to win, they're going to have to blast through the middle. Get them early. Teams that come off a bye can look a little dusty for 15, 20, 30 minutes at the start of a game. And they had to blitz them, go through the middle of them early, and then, capitalise on that, make Melbourne hang outside, play outside their normal systems, and it'll come unravelled. How did I say? Storm win. They have to hold their gloves up through that 20 minutes. Not quite as good a forward pack, but held their gloves up and then let their spine go to work. What happened? What I just said for Melbourne. They weathered the storm. They held their gloves up. I think they were down 6, maybe 8-0. With Nelson off and all that, they weathered the storm. They were getting bashed. They got bashed, but they didn't get bashed badly. They didn't leak a ton of points. The spine went to work, and their spine literally scored 7 tries in this game. Pretty much couldn't have made that call any better, to be fair. It was exactly what happened there, guys. A couple of things happened in this game which will impact the grand final. So one, Nelson is gone for 4 weeks. So I'm sure they're going to try and fight it, but with all his previous charges, he didn't bend without Lindsay Collins dropping. Even if there was a squeeze, unfortunately, I don't like it, but it's easy. I dare say he's not going to be there. Advantage Penrith. Harry Grant hurt his calf. Meaney hurt his knee. And who was the other one? Jerome Hughes hurt his neck. Now, neck, whatever it was. I heard Harry Grant and Hughes are fine. Nick Meaney, a little bit more serious, could miss the game. Just what I'm hearing. Not confirmed, just what I'm hearing. I am almost 100% confident Harry Grant and Jerome Hughes will be there and be fine. Nick Meaney, I'm not too sure. Now, Nick Meaney, if he is out, he's been absolutely incredible for them. Not what you want to lose an outside back who's been doing so well and also your goal kicker. Paps has been a pretty gun goal kicker in the past, but I don't think he's kicked in a game. He might have had a conversion or two in about 3 years. It's been a while. So, again, not ideal, but I'm sure they'll be fine. They look great. So we're going to have to monitor that one, guys. But Harry Grant, calf sprain. Now, the good thing is it's on a Sunday. They played on Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 9 days rest. That's if it's just a niggle, you're fine. It's just if they have strained, then that's a different issue. It's not one of those calf, especially. It's a little bit concerning for the game because if they sometimes you can think they're fine and then they go again. Jerome Hughes last year was in and out of the season all year with calf injuries. So a bit concerning there, a bit concerning. But look, pretty much what I thought they were going to do, they sort of did. I was leaning, like I said in my thing, I thought I was leaning towards, the more I looked at the team list, the more I liked the Roosters. But they, like I said in my preview on TikTok and all that, even though I do like them, the Roosters to win, I don't have confidence they're going to blast through the middle like they'll need to, and Storm's spine will get it done, and that's exactly what happened, guys. So let's have a look at some of the team stats here, guys. So Storm, I wouldn't say dominated possession, but definitely a little bit more time in possession. Completed much better. That's a finals completion rate if I ever saw one. Not good enough from the Roosters there at 74%. I mean, look, I said they had to win the forward battle, or I said they had to dominate the forward battle, and they actually lost it. Lost the post-contact meters, obviously lost the blind breaks 9-4, average set distance about the same. Play the ball speed, Melbourne was actually quicker, so offloads 7-11. What else we got here? Tackle efficiency 86% each, so missed tackles 27, that's fine. 36, not horrendous, but not, like I said, you want that under 30 if you can get it. So errors 8-12, penalties conceded 6-5. The stats aren't damning, but they'll just their spine, Storm's spine, is just so good. Look at all these points from this spine. Look at this, just ridiculous. Oh, let's have a little look, see who got the meters for everyone. Cam Munster, man. It was funny on my stream I just finished. I said, I was sort of thinking, man, if the game's close, you've got to take the team with Nathan Cleary in it. But the other team has Cam Munster in it. He was Mr. Clutch before Nathan Cleary really landed that Mr. Clutch role. So 2 super clutch players and 2 awesome teams is just bananas, man. And Wishart was barely needed. They didn't need him. Christian Welch barely got any minutes. So wild, man. Absolutely wild. What a performance from the Melbourne Storm. Let's have a little look-see at these missed tackles. Let's see if they were where they were on the edges. Or Nick Meaney 5. So maybe they do want to leave him out. No. It can happen in the centres. You can run up 5 pretty quickly. Katoa definitely has to be a little better. 5 as well on an edge with 3. He was awesome, by the way. He was absolutely incredible. One of the buys of the year. I think Craig Bellamy said I think he's the buy of the year in the NRL. And he was just that. A few of those tackles were him just coming off the line and stuff like that. He was absolutely enormous. I thought Trent Loiero was really good as well. I really did. So, yeah. Geez, Brian Pappenhausen, 33. 1 tackle made, 2 misses. Paps, work on your tackling, lad. Oh, no, that's fine. Then let's have a look what the Storm reduced some of these superstar superstar Roosters players too. All right, so oops, we've gone too far. All right, so I thought Tupou was okay. 187. Suoliti took some tough carries, but some silly errors. Dom Young was absolute butt cheeks, man. Absolute butt cheeks. folded all the time. Not good. Not good at all. I thought Jared was solid in his first stint. Lindsay Collins, 1 run for 2 metres, KO'd. Kick return metres, 2. Angus Crichton came out violent. Bro was violent, but it was sort of one of his worst games of the year. It wasn't that bad. Like, it was just, it wasn't a, didn't get the run. It just, he never got in a rhythm, you know. It was tough. Spencer Lenu, a little bit of a disappointing end to the year for him personally. He got that payday. I've seen him on TikTok out buying Rolexes, and wasn't great. Wasn't great. You wouldn't see Fisher Harris out there doing that, lad. Spencer's earned it after that Origin. Luke Keary, I thought he was a warrior. Joey Manu was, like I said, pretty good. So we've got Daniel Tupou, 2 line breaks. Suoliti, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist. Keary, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist. Connor Watson for me was absolute. You need a genuine number 9. You just do, man. Like, if you just, like, I love Connor Watson, but to me he's just that unfortunate number 14 player. Like, he's just that Mr. Fix-It. He'll get you a job done anywhere. But when we're talking about tippy top, high performance, biggest game of the year, all that stuff, Harry Grant compared to Connor Watson, it was like Jersey flag, A grade compared to, you know what I mean? It just, he made Connor look so bad in this game. He wasn't that bad, but it was just like, you know, we're talking about the best hooker in the game. But yeah, it was, you need a genuine number 9. Yeah, like I said, he was pretty disappointing, and just a lot of passes being caught above heads, out of dummy half and stuff, and just that precision. It really matters in these big games. Whether you're outside, whoever you're passing it to, let's say it's going to a half, if it goes out in front on the run to where it creates so much space, and it just wasn't happening for Connor. I felt like there's a lot of catching here, catching there, catching there, not good enough. So, like I said, I'm not going to blame him a whole heap because he's not a genuine number 9. But yeah, it was like massive advantage for Melbourne having one guy just absolutely, just so clinical out of dummy half, and then you sort of got a feeling. Now, look, it wasn't perfect from Melbourne. Like, I know the scoreline sort of says it was, and it's not even that they leaked 18 points. You know, people go, oh, but they leaked 20 points. It wasn't that. It was, it just wasn't perfect, but it was very, very good. And, you know, like what did Roosters get to? 24-18? And then I can't remember, there was an error, and then it just completely flipped and was all over. It was just one of those ones where it was like they're dumping all their energy into this comeback, and then there was a deflating moment, and all the air went out of the jumping castle real quick. So, but great win for the Melbourne Storm. They're going to be extremely tough to beat. Let's just check real quick if there are any early odds yet on that grand final. Let's have a little look. Sorry, guys. I'm just really interested in that. Sport. Rugby League. Ooh, $1.92 each, boys. $1.92 each. That's wild. I couldn't have set the price any better. Oh, wow. All right, let's move on to the Penny Panthers versus the Cronulla Sharks. Now, I will check in the weather all week, because I know that the Penny Panthers aren't great in the weather. This is why it's really hard for me to do it, and this is why this grand final is going to be super hard to predict. Because if you just look at this game on the outside, if you watch this game, you'd be like, oh, Penrith weren't very good. They're never good in the wet. I have not seen Penrith play a good wet weather footy game in 3 years. They're just not good in the wet. If you compare their game before, every pass is out in front, every part is crisp, everything's running like a perfectly engineered German vehicle. And then this week, all of a sudden, Mitch Kenny's passes are getting caught. Dylan Edwards is catching them up above his head, and Cleary's having to catch. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, it's like they forget how to play. It's like cats just hate wet. They just, it's not trying to bath a cat. They just hate it. It's wild. But having said that, like if you didn't watch this game and you woke up, you go, oh, super convincing win from Penrith, 20 plus. 20 plus is a very big win. It's a hiding, but it definitely wasn't a hiding. And it's not one of these ones where it's hard because I heard in the post game the score doesn't reflect the game. It sort of does because Penrith did grind them down in the game and blow them out at the end with late tries. It did reflect the game, but at the same time, Penrith weren't great. It's I don't know. I've got it in my head. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but Penrith were, and we'll get to it, actually pretty good. And they did win 20 plus, fair and square. And they even had a try taken off them, which I personally thought was a try too. First of all, though, shout out to the Sharks. I actually thought they were really good. They should be super proud of this finals campaign. I know it was just a win and a loss, like 2 losses and a win or whatever, but I thought they looked a better team, and yeah, I think they're going to be back. I actually said, like, after this game, I'm probably going to take Sharks top 4 again next year. They get AFB there. Trindle's looking incredible. All that sort of stuff. So shout out to the Sharkies, and shout out, they really hung in there. Like, they made this a game. Unfortunately, like, I've been saying this for about a month because I couldn't quite put my finger on why the Sharkies couldn't get over the line. And I think I said this and I had a lot of people say, yeah, you're right, bro. So I guess I'm right. The Sharkies struggle to build pressure in situations sometimes. And even in this game, right, let's just talk about it. Sharkies are hanging in there, gritty, all this stuff. I honestly thought they made Penrith look bad at times. They were doing all this stuff. They score a try, their first try, and boom. Then their next set, they knock it on. Like, that's just, the top teams don't do that. Top teams make errors. They do dumb things. It's no team's perfect. But I can't remember Penrith Panthers in the last 2 or 3 years, 4, 5 years. Damn, it's the 5th grand final in a row. In a game where they're behind, scoring a try, and then knocking the ball on there. I just can't remember it. I can't remember. It was just... It was just little stuff like that, you know, it sort of let them down a little bit, but it was just the inability to build pressure. Again, they were brilliant, but inability to build pressure, error after points is just a big no-no. It's, if you go down and watch under 12s, after a try scored, the coach runs over and says, get through this set. And they didn't. As far as the game went in general, it was a bit of a stinker. It actually wasn't that bad. I kept forgetting it was wet weather footy. I was sitting there on stream going, geez, this game sucks. I'm like, it's fucking wet. I keep forgetting it's wet because it's so crystal clear on the TV. You forget it's wet. And it wasn't like pouring rain, so it wasn't like muddy or anything. So you kept forgetting it was wet. But it was actually an okay wet weather game. We hit our bet, so I'm happy. But yeah, look, they're going to have to be better. They're going to have to be better. Brian To'o, absolutely goated. And to me, the difference was, I mean, I saw it just all through my chat on my stream, Nathan Cleary the GOAT. I saw people saying who just hate Penrith, hate Nathan, and they're just like, you can't argue, man. This dude is on trajectory to overtake, you know, Nathan Cleary, overtake Jonathan Thurston and Andrew Johns really fast. It's just every game I've seen him play this year, it's only been about 11 or 12. He has by far been the best player on the park. And it's actually pretty funny. I was talking about the Michael Jordan debate and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, like, we were chatting whether Michael or LeBron's GOAT and stuff. And I don't care. Don't get me into that. But I just said, I went back and watched Michael Jordan's games. And he was, every time he laced them up, he was the best player on both teams. You know what I mean? Like, whether Bulls won or lost, he was the best player out there 99% of the time. Obviously, it's hard to do 82 games a year. It's a bit different to the NRL where you only play 20, but it was just, he's just got to that level where you can't not call him the best anymore. Like, after their first grand final win, people were starting to say, oh, he could be the best. And after his second grand final win, some people thought he was, some people didn't. Last year, I think a lot of people just sort of said he's the best. To me, like, but some games last year even, maybe he wasn't the best, but he was close. He was second or third. I feel like every single game he's played this year, he's been the best player on the park, by a mile. Like, it's that ball he threw tonight. Like, I'm pretty sure he had an involvement in every point except for when he was off the park. Let's have a quick look at his stats. But he's special, man. Like, love him or hate him, boys. Just appreciate what you're watching, because, like I said, I didn't really get to watch Andrew Johns a whole heap. You know, he's played a bit of his footy in the 90s where I was about 5 years old. You know, he played a lot of his footy. You know, I sort of missed a lot of his career. You know, caught the tail end of it, I guess. And you're not really watching footy much when you're in your teens, you know. And then, you know, I only really caught the back end of Lockie's. That was special. And I didn't pay much attention to Thurston until the end, probably when he's about... But, you know, like, you got to appreciate it, man, because players like this don't come along very often. But look, I mean, 145 running metres for a half. Like, 18 carries. He didn't even play the full game. 8 points, 2 conversions. He's not perfect though. He did do a mediocre kick, and he did miss conversion. So definitely not perfect. Yeah, 18 runs, 145 metres, 21 post contact, 1 line break, 2 line break assists, 3 try assists, 5 tackle breaks. 5 tackle breaks? 5 tackle breaks. And with a busted shoulder. It's pretty damn special. Now, not many missed tackles here. Mitch Kenny misses 5, but like I said, he bounces off a few. We give him a pass for about... I reckon whatever Mitch Kenny's missed tackle rate is, halve it, and that's what he actually missed. When, you know, not good missed tackles. He was slapping tonight. Yeah, his offense was actually pretty poor. His defense was made up for it. It was enormous. And... Look at that from Nathan Cleary with a banged shoulder. 1 missed tackle. It's pretty incredible. I thought Alamotti probably had his best game. He was great too. Let's have a look at some of the... Dylan Edwards, 258 metres, 1 line break assist, 8 tackle breaks. I didn't feel like his game was that big, so that's pretty wild. Sonny Taruva, 203, 62 post contact, 1 line break, 3 tackle breaks. Brian Tortor. I said this on my stream, and a lot of people seem to agree. You guys let me know as well. I think he's 25 or 26 this year. If he plays like he's played his whole career until he's 30, for me, he's the GOAT. GOAT winger. Like I said, drop in the comments who you think's been... Like, just imagine that Brian Tortor does what he's done, like dropping these ridiculous numbers... And tell me a better winger if he does that for another 4 years. I don't think there is one. It's and we've had some goddamn good wingers, seriously. 236 metres, 90. I said during the stream as well, I said it's literally like having... It's like having, like... I don't know. Like AJ and Spencer Lenu in one. Like try scoring, you know, like... And also a front rower. He's just incredible, man. He's just... Yeah, I can't speak enough of him, man. He's absolutely crazy. Fish and Moses were good. I probably expected a little more from them, but Sharks pack is no joke. It's really not. Lee Martin probably was wanting a better game. You got a little head knock there too. Wasn't great. I thought Lindsay Smith and Liam Henry came in and did a pretty good job, but yeah, it's... Yeah, it was a very good. It was actually a pretty good performance, but without being incredible. We'll go. I'll show. Well, I haven't seen all the numbers here, but we'll from half time. I was actually like, man, Penrith's numbers are actually pretty good. And Ivan Cleary actually said post game. He said, I actually thought it was our best defensive game. Yeah, I was sort of sitting there like, damn. Well, I guess you did only concede a try, and they did have a bit of ball in good position. So, I mean, he knows better than me, I guess. So plenty of time in possession, so they did control possession. They did 80% completion rate in wet weather footy's actually pretty good. Okay, they ran for 2,000 metres and restricted a very big Sharks forward pack with some banging outside backs to 1,400. Post contact, very dominant as well. 5 line breaks to 1. 49 tackle breaks to 18. average set distance of 48 to 36. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's sort of weird. Like, Sharks were in this game to the 70th minute, but Panthers really did dominate everything. Even, like, the completion rate's not bad for where the footy. That's why it was such a strange game. They cleared the ruck quicker. They offloaded more. It's like efficient tackle over 91%, like 19 misses. I'd say if you get onto 30, you've done great. They had 19. And Sharkies 49. That's not great. Penalties conceded 7. They could do better. But there was a couple in there, like the obstruction, but whatever. I don't think there was one, but okay. And then there was one where I think Hazelton fell into Mitch Kenny's arm. That wasn't a penalty, but anyway, like, it didn't affect the outcome of the game, so who cares? But yeah, look, it's really hard to judge, and that's why I was like, I'll have a really good idea of who's going to win this. I said this. I'm going to have a really good idea who's going to win the comp after watching these two games play. I have no idea now, man. I'm just like, God damn, bro. Nathan Cleary was the big news too, hurting his shoulder. I saw the press conference. They sort of said, how's your shoulder? And he went, great. You know, yeah, it's fine. I can lift it. He just said it was a knock. He said he was fine, and but needs surgery at the end of the game. I think Brandy said in the post game it needs surgery after. But he also said his shoulder injury in 2021 was way worse. He was holding on by a thread, and he got through that. So, pretty confident he'll be fine. I reckon we're pretty much gonna see full strength teams other than Nelson play each other next weekend, which is absolutely enormous. Absolutely enormous. I cannot wait, man. It's gonna be so good. Yeah. So let's have a little look, see if it's up yet. Ooh, it's up. Shout out to NRL.com getting that up quickly. All right, let's have a little look through next week's, just a little preview. All right, so last matchup. Now, Cleary went down in this. This is why it's hard too, and this is why I'm having so much trouble. Cleary goes down with 10 minutes to go in this. I actually think Penrith win this if Cleary's in the game. We saw how clutch he's been this year, but it doesn't matter. A W's a W, and this game was in the wet. But Melbourne won both these games fair and square. Like, they did. But I can't even call them asterisks because that's not fair and square. But you get what I'm saying. It's not like they were two super convincing wins. It was 2 dubs. You know? It's like split decision wins in the UFC. You know, you're like, it's a win, but I'm not super happy with it. Both teams on a 3-3, 3-game winning streaks. Current wins this season, like 81%, 72%. So Storm definitely more W's. So let's have a look at overall. So points scored, way more to the Storm. Points conceded, I was about to say way more to Storm, but it's not really. It's 77 points, which is what, I don't know, 10, I don't know how, 10 tries? No. A few more, 15 tries, something like that, 12 tries. My math's a bit rank on that one. Completion rates, bang on each, 79 and 80. Tackle efficiency, same. Average points scored, average points conceded, exactly that. Storm scoring, 5 more, conceding 2 more. Play the ball speeds, identical. Wins at this venue, 66% and 52% for the Panthers. Damn good win percentage there for the Melbourne Storm, I tell you what. All right, so just a little breakdown. Team list wouldn't be there. I think Penrith Panthers look super beatable. That doesn't mean they're bad. That doesn't mean I think they're going to lose. I just think I've thought all year they just look beatable. The last year and the previous 2 or whatever, Penrith dropped games because you can't go undefeated. Like the comp's way too even to not lose a game. But it was very obvious to me when a game mattered, they weren't losing. This year, I've been saying it all year. I think they're the best, if not at worst, the second best team in the comp. But they do look beatable. Even tonight, they looked beatable. Doesn't mean they're going to be beaten though. Cam Munster, if I'm a Melbourne Storm fan, I think we can get it done through our spine. Our forward pack has to really pull their weight. Can Tui Kamikamica, Christian Welsh and Josh King handle Isaiah Yeo, Liero as well, Isaiah Yeo, Fisher Harris, Moses Leota, Liam Henry, and can they? That's a question. That's going to be tough. That's going to be real tough. Because if they can, as good as Nathan Cleary is, as good as that spine is, I do think Storm's spine is better from top to bottom. But we're talking an A+ spine versus an A spine. We're not talking about an A+ spine versus C- spine like the Roosters had. Is it good enough? I don't like the way Harry Grant plays when his forwards are on the back foot. That's to me the big difference. Like, people talk about him and compare him to Cam Smith. Cam Smith could play off the back foot. He never panicked. He got the job done. His team's getting bashed. He'd look right, swing out a dummy half, boot a 40-20 every time. I'm not saying Harry Grant hasn't done that. Of course he has. But it's just a little bit more frantic. So the Melbourne Storm's forwards are going to have to be huge. And if they don't have Nas, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be real tough. These forwards for Fisher Harris are going to be coming off the back fence and being absolutely ferocious. And they know they have to be. They're going to know without Nasty there, that's one place they can dominate. Their Storm's forward pack's going to have to be huge. And if Storm, like I said against the Roosters, if Storm's forward pack can just hold its gloves up for that first 20 minutes, weather the storm, and then catch Fisher Harris and Moses Leota getting their rest, I think the Storm win. Flip side, Penrith Panthers 2 win. Again, I think they can go through them. And the problem is, and how I almost find their method to victory a little easier, if their forward pack genuinely dominates the Melbourne forward pack. Nathan Cleary behind it, it's going to be so hard to stop. Now, I know what we're going to sort of say. I don't think Penrith's forward pack is quite as good as it has been in previous years. I don't think it's quite as Wally. Just looking at that Sharks game, you'd see Sharkies forward pack actually looked better at a lot of genuine chunks of the game. But I would almost argue that without Nelson in their forward pack, I think Sharks actually have a better forward pack than Melbourne. They probably, like Kafusi, like Rudolph, Hazelton, Royce Hunt, Nikora, Teague, McInnes. It's better. So for me, if they really go through the middle, front load, get on top, like I sort of said, Roosters had to, I think Penrith win. And if Penrith are anywhere near Melbourne with 20 to go, it's going to be Nathan Cleary clutch right there. But having said that, you go over the other side. I believe the second most clutch player in the comp is standing on the other side. So we're going to have one hell of a grand final, boys. It's going to be absolutely hectic. I'm not dropping my final tip yet. But however, I am actually slightly leaning towards the Melbourne Storm. Just slightly. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely wild, guys. But make sure you're subbed, guys. Make sure you're following. I'll get that preview out shortly, guys. After team lists get announced. I absolutely cannot wait, guys. Bring it on.